Hey y'all, Space Miner checking in. So this is going to be quick tech time. Okay, here's the deal. Got a 91 Dodge 318 and I was diagnosing alternator problems. I thought my alternator wasn't charging anymore. I went through like 3 of them until I finally knew for sure I had a good one. I also replaced my battery at the same time just to make sure I had a balanced system. Okay, so what happens though in these about midway through 91, Dodge decided they were going to be uber genius and put your external voltage regulator inside your computer, okay, which is that little box right here, okay, and it lives behind your battery. So if you got a Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, anything around this time period, that's where your computer is, and that's where your voltage regulator lives now. But the voltage regulator fries out, but the rest of the computer is good. So here's how you conquer this, okay? It took me some trial and error, so I'm going to save you some time. Okay? See that guy? That's a quick start voltage regulator kit. It's a bypass kit, okay? And so how it does is that little bypass kit gets 2 grounds, okay? It gets a ground to your alternator and it gets a ground to your battery, okay? It's got a power wire, which is coming out of this loom here, okay? And leads right there, okay? And then you need a lead from your battery to this charge wire, okay? So problem is I couldn't find a good, strong, ignition only hot. And so what I did, just to kind of get through for the moment, was I borrowed off of this guy, okay? My little ignition coil here, okay? And I borrowed a lead, I borrowed a lead off of this guy to activate a little solenoid, okay? And I had my power wire connect and my battery wire connected to those. So every time I turn on my ignition, the solenoid gets power from that top wire, turns on, and allows the voltage to go through my 2 main lugs. But the problem is just to kind of get through, I used a starter solenoid, which is a temporary on-off solenoid, okay? It's not meant for full-time use. So the thing burned out in like no time, okay? But it did get me through for a second. And so now to bypass that, until I can get a better, stronger ignition-only connection, here's what I did. I put a 12-volt hard breaker in there, okay? And so now what I do is this guy is connecting my battery and my voltage regulator, okay? I have to manually turn this on and off for the moment because my solenoid's dead. Otherwise, this guy would have activated my little starter solenoid, which would allow the voltage to pass through those 2 primary lugs. So basically every time I turned on my ignition, power supplied here, which supplied it here, turned on those 2 lugs, allowed the voltage regulator to pass charge through all the way to my battery, okay? And so that was the system. Now it's the breaker, okay? So real quick, I'm gonna set you down a second. Let me show you how this goes, okay? Okay, do a quick test. Okay, good. All right, ready? You guys see that? Good. All right. There's my battery now, okay? 12-4. I'm gonna go ahead and start it up. Okay, you can see that it's draining the power pretty quick, right? V8 will do that. So watch this. I'm going to go over here and switch on the breaker. Bam. Look at that. Okay? Which just means every time I stop for the next little bit until I get a better solenoid, I'm going to have to do that. So let me shut it down. And there it is, guys. That is the easiest bypass you could do, okay? Voltage regulator. Okay, you're gonna disconnect your main lug. This is a molded wiring harness, okay? But if you look back there, you see those two little lugs? These are the guys that talk to your computer and say, hey, you know, alternator's on, voltage. So they provide this little circuit doohickey, which completes the circuit and says, hey, computer, you're good still, okay? We borrowed the negative, and we just kept the original negative on, okay? Just to keep good, strong ground going on. This bypasses the computer, okay? And then you leave your original charge line in place, okay? So, again, main wiring block, go ahead and just keep the ground. It's not going to hurt nothing. You put your new bypass doohickey on, and now you've bypassed all your communication wires. You leave your main charge on. Go ahead and leave your main ground. Okay. Now if you got a good solenoid, again, you can just use a good solenoid, borrow an ignition hot from somewhere, or you can bypass that and just control it yourself. So there it is. Hope that helps somebody get out of a pinch. This isn't done. I'll need a full-time solenoid to kind of get through this, but obviously you guys saw that it worked. And now I can drive places again, and I can go to the post office, and so things like that. All right, it's a bit longer than I wanted, but hopefully this will help you guys get through this. All right, bye.